Okay, hi guys, and I know this there's been like a while since my last video. Um, to be honest, I was like really busy with our game. Okay, so I'm not really lying. I was actually really busy with my game, and I just decided to make a video since this is a good time, you know. So let's continue with our C Sharp series. And In one of the last videos, I actually was mentioning static and non-static or static and dynamic um, variables, and I forgot to actually, or the video cuts off where it actually just starts. So let's just create a static temp, call it static temp, because I really don't like calling it static or something. And we're gonna create another one, and we're gonna call it dynamic temp. By the way, if you don't actually understand anything, leave anything in the below comments, and I will try and explain it as best as I can. So I'm actually using Mono Developer right now. So open this, and since I've got two monitors, I know it's going to do some weird stuff there. Wait 1 second. There we go. Got it back. And open that one as well. Okay. Now let's work in the static one first. So if I make it easier to see, if I do public static, since when it's public, other classes can like see it. If I do public static var equal, oops, forgot the boolean, or bool, or you can just make anything, string, whatever you like, false. So I'm just telling you what the static does. So in the dynamic, we'll just create one that's not static. So public bool test equals false. Okay, now if we go and let's just close both of these scripts and create a new one. Let's call this oops, script accessor or something, I don't know. So we've got a dynamic script and a static script. In the static script, we've got a static variable. In the dynamic script, we've got a dynamic variable. So why would we need a dynamic and a static? By the way, I placed all of these in the main camera. So so anyways, you're probably wondering, why do we need those there? And I will explain that right now. Oops, if I can get this Mono Develop thing going. Yeah, there are a lot of things wrong with Mono Develop. There we go. Now if let's just delete the update, we don't even need that. Delete those, delete that. Anyways, uh, if I try and call this static one called static var, first we need to go into the class. So static temp dot static var equal, I can call it right away. If I try and call this one the dynamic one, so dynamic temp dot temp, and as you can see, this, oh no wait, it's called test, so let me just test equals to false. It should give us an error anyways. It won't work, so let's see, told ya. It says it's a non-static member and we can't access it like this. So basically, static variables, you can access it like these. You can just like put the class name dot and then access it, and with dynamic variables you can't. But static variables never change unless you actually change them. Like no matter what scene are you in. For example, if I'm in like the main menu, and I click play and go to another scene, all the dynamic variables, they will just go back to the default values, but the static variables will never go back until you actually change them. So that's a very important thing. And to access a dynamic variable, what you need to do is you need to actually go into its game object. So game object, since it's going to be in the same game object, and dot get component, and it's going to be the script name, which is dynamic temp, and then these brackets, then dot, and then the name of the variable now. And make sure it's public, otherwise you won't be able to access it. What do they call it? Test equals to false. There you go. Now it's working. So just keep this in mind. This actually comes in very handy, since if you want to like keep accessing the script, and the value is never going to change, and it should only change when you're going to change it. So that is it for the static variables. And what else? Let's teach you guys something about vector 3s, and get this tutorial finished with. There's also some vector 2s and stuff like that. Vector solutions, I don't know, vector solutions. So double click it, open it, takes a little bit of time. Or maybe it's just not opening, sorry. And just wait a little while. Okay, now what vectors are is basically you can substitute the word vector with dimensions. So private start, you might be a little used to that. Start, oops, forgot the void. Okay, now you can let's just create a vector. You can create vector 2, which is like 2D, 3D, or 4D. So let's create a 3D, or in fact let's start with 2D and go our way up. So 2D box. Oops, we can't start it with a number, that would be stupid. Box, let's just type in box equals to, in fact, square equals to new vector 2 and 0 comma 0. Simple as that. So this is basically a piece of paper. You can and it's got a where's paint open paint.net, but paint and that one. Okay, now if we go here, now pretend that's 0 0, so the point would be here, as you can see. Wait 1 second. Okay, yeah, the point would be here, and that's basically it. If we make it 1, then the point would actually move here, or actually it's the other way around. This is for the GUI. GUI actually works that way, so the point 0 0 would be here, and then if you put 1, then it'll go there in the y-axis. If you put 1 there, then it's going to be 1 up, or 1 across and then 1 up, which is going to be here somewhere. That's that coordinate. If you put that, then that's that coordinate. So as you can see, pretty simple, pretty simple stuff. But when it gets to 3D, it gets a bit more complicated, but not that much, because we're not really dealing with that much stuff. So vector 3, let's go to vector 3. 4D is like completely out of this world. It is. So 0. There's also just like one more thing, which is 0, which is basically the depth of the object. So what this oops, let me just organize this. There we go. Okay, now what this is, if we create a cube. Okay, now let's game out at the cube. So as you can see, if we look at it from the top view, oops, no, let's look at it from the X, the Z view. There we go. So as you can see, we've got our X, or maybe this view would be better. Okay, we've got our X and Y, and we can move it up a little bit and there we go. We're changing its position. You can see it from there. Now, in this world, we've also got a z-axis, so we can move it that way, and we can change the obviously size of it in the z, x, y, and z. Uh, I said z twice there, but who cares? We can also rotate it in any of it, and we've also got this rotation thing. Okay, this just completely rotates it. So that is it, I think. Or is it? Let's just see the timing of this. It tells me in seconds. How bad is that? Come on. Anyways, I think this is it for this tutorial. I'll try to get some more tutorials on, and stay tuned, I guess. Maybe we'll learn about quaternions a little bit, but to be honest, I'm not really good at those. Or maybe we'll just try and create a network between two things. So I'll see you later.